Heidi ho, my crafty friends. Today we are going to start on your new journal that is, it has removable signatures. And I'm very sorry about my voice, but I don't have any voice left. Which I do believe that the people that are beginners are really, really going to like this type of journal because you don't have to sew them in. There's no sewing involved. This is a no-sew journal. So basically what we're going to do is you're going to need a file folder, any kind of file folder. This just happened to be one that I had. And you're going to look for one that has, see these three little lines on the inside? You know, it helps the file folder expand. That's what you're looking for. And we're going to use all three of those. So don't cut your file folder there, okay? You see those three lines? I know my light's reflecting and I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can cover that. Oh, then you can't see the file folder, sorry. But the three little lines that are on the inside that help the file folder expand for its contents are what we're going to use. So don't cut your file folder there. Fold your file folder in half, just normally for its cutting that we're going to do, okay? So I'm going to cut mine to a 9x6, which is the normal size for all of my journals, okay? So I've got it on my cutting mat here, and I'm lining it up, and here's my 9, and it will not stay up here. I've just got to mark it. And let me get a blue one's not going to do me any good, is it? Let me get a black one here. Let me mark it with a black one. Okay. And I'm just going to mark it with a black one so I can see where I'm going to draw my line. Okay. So I want it 9 inches tall and I want it 6 inches wide. Now, what that does is that allows me to fold a normal piece of 8.5 by 11 paper in half, and it's going to fit inside. So if I don't want to cut my papers, if I don't want to do anything special with my papers, I don't have to because they're going to fit. But did you think I was going to let that happen in this journal? You are sorely mistaken, my friends. Okay, so now we're going to cut on the inside of the line that I've drawn. Okay, can you see my lines? I'm going to cut on the inside of those lines. Okay? Because I don't want the lines on the outside of my journal. Oh, and I don't want a plastic ruler because I'll cut my arm off. Okay, let me get my ruler here, my metal ruler. Here it is. Okay, if you're going to cut papers, bindings, anything that has to do with a junk journal, it's best to use a metal ruler, okay? So that's a supply that you probably want to add to your arsenal. I got mine at, oh, let me think of the place. I'll put it down for you. I'll write down the place that I got it. And it was not expensive, but I'm sure that you can get it other places. And I got my knife here at the same place. Slow and easy is how you pull it through. Okay? And there's no need to be afraid of your knife if you use proper knife safety. Always retract it when you're not using it. Okay. Okay, save these pieces. Okay, save them. My knife is retracted. Excuse me. Here's my journal. Okay. Okay. So, now, Remember I told you about the 3 lines? Here's what my spine's going to look like. It's going to look like that. And I didn't cut that very straight, did I? Okay, now because I just created that spine and I pulled that back, I have a little bit left here, which is exactly what I wanted. I'm going to score that, and I'm going to use that, okay? But I'm not sure how, but I don't want to cut it off yet, okay? So I'm going to score it, but I need to mark it. So let's pull it up here. Do I want to do that? Let me think here. Let me think. What do I want to do with that? I don't think so. I think I want to take it off, because I already have my closure picked out. And that's going to get in the way of my closure. Okay. Okay, so let me cut this off. All right, so let me line up here. And again, I'm going to save this little piece because I'm going to use it. Okay, that's what I want, just like that. Okay, let me put my knife away. Let me put my ruler away. Okay, now, I think on mine, now, mine is pretty thick, okay? You can see how thick it is here. Now, if your file folder is really thin, like some of the manila ones are really thin, you might need to glue 2 of them together, okay? If you do that before all this starts, okay? Do it now, before you start cutting. Now, if you've already cut and you go, uh-oh, I forgot to do that, that's okay. Go on and glue another piece on here now and another piece on the back, okay? Because you need to strengthen it up so it's not all wiggly wobbly. Also, go on and glue a small piece down your spine. Now, your spine on these isn't going to be very big. It's going to be a small spine. It's only going to be about 1/2 inch to hold our signatures. Okay, so that small spine is perfect because we're going to take advantage of these lines to line our signatures up. Okay, and something else you're going to need is you're going to need something to tie around the papers. You can either use elastic cording, you can use twine string, and let me show you what I mean by that. Twine string you can get at the Dollar Tree. You can order online. This is twine string. Okay. Some places call it baker's string. See? It's like this. It comes in colors. Like here's a gray. There's all kinds of pretty colors in it. I'm going to be using an elastic for mine. You can use, let me think, what else could you use? I would not suggest ribbon because ribbon will not hold them. Now you can decorate the outside with ribbon if you would like. But ribbon's not going to be tight enough to hold your paper in place. Okay? Now, if you want to decorate the front of your file folder, you can do so now. But I'm going to go on and I want to add my pockets that I want to the inside before I do anything else. You knew I'd have pockets, didn't you? Surely you knew. Now, these pieces that I cut off are perfect because they match. So, I'm going to take my scissors. Maybe. Here they are. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut these in half. Now, you have to remember, don't put anything down the spine. Okay? Don't put anything down the spine. Nothing goes down the spine. And let's see. I think I want... No, I think in the back, I want a tuck. Oh, see, and that piece there is rounded. So I think, oh, this piece is too. Oh, that's because these were part of the top, weren't they? Okay, well, that'll be all right. We'll just have it decorative. So I think I'm going to put this piece there. Now, I'm not going to cover the inside of mine with anything. I'm going to leave mine like it is. I'm okay with the blue. So, but if you have a plain manila folder and you're doubling up on the manila because it's thin, okay, and you've cut it and you want the inside now decorated, you can use cardstock. And if your manila is thin, you can even use a thicker cardstock, something that's a little thicker maybe than copy paper. You can use the thicker cardstock. That would be perfect. That would really add some nice girth. You can also use that thicker cardstock to cover the front. By doing that, that would even add a little more rigidity to the front. And if you're going to use that, you need to cut that piece that's going to fit in the middle. Now, to do that, to cut that piece that goes in the middle, okay, you don't want it to hamper where it bends. See where this bends? Right here. See where your spine bends? You don't want anything in that little gap right there. So if you're going to put something in the middle, something decorative, then let's see, how wide is this? Okay, so I couldn't put this in there. I would, because it's a little too big. See how snug it is? See, it doesn't move. I would have to make this more narrow. And let me show you how I would do that. I would take my knife, and by doing this, you now have a decorated spine. And that, all that means is when your papers are moving around, it's not just a solid color in there, but it's decorated, and you don't see that solid color. So I probably cut off about a 1/16 of an inch, or as we say in the South, a smidgen. I just cut off a smidgen. Okay. Of course, I don't live in the South, but that's the way I measure things. Okay, so this now fits. Let me get a hold of it. And I can move it. Well, I guess it'd help if I showed you, wouldn't it? No, not yet. It's not straight. So, guess I didn't do it very straight, did I? Okay, so let's make it straight. Let me line it up here. Yeah, your spine is the most important thing of your journal. If your spine doesn't cooperate, then your journal's not going to open, your journal's not going to close well, and you're going to be very frustrated with it. Let's see. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's close it. See what I'm doing? I'm folding it in half. And I'm seeing where my problem is. Right there's my problem. Right here. Okay? And it's okay that I folded it. It's going to lay flat. I'm not worried about that little baby fold. All right, so let's lay it down. Let me get a paper clip here. Of course, I don't have a paper clip. Let's see. There we go. I moved them for our event. Did you guys have fun at our event that we had? Oh my gracious, I had so much fun. I made so many new creative friends. I'm following their pages. I'm getting to know them. That was so much fun. Having new creative friends is great. Okay. Okay, again, I'm going slow until I get it off. Okay, it's right there on the edge, so I'm going to use my scissors. And I'm going to go just like this. There we go. That's a sprinkle right there. All right, so now let's take the paper clip off. And let's lay this in here. And let's see. If I have my spine like this, see? Now it moves. So that's your test. Whatever you put in there should move freely like this. Okay? So, not quite a half an inch. All right, so let's see what mine measures now. So before it measured a half an inch, now it is just here. Let me show you on my board. Let me see if I can get you down here to it. Let me see if I can get you over here to where it is. Well, maybe I'm not. Okay. Whoops. Right there. See, it's right on the inside line of it. Okay. That was a bumpy ride, wasn't it? Okay. So let's get you back up here. And let's get back where we were. Okay. Bet you didn't expect that, did you? All right. See, now I've messed my camera up. Now you're going to see my big fat fingers. There we go. Okay. So now that I've done all that, I think I want to use it because it's quite pretty. I think it'll be pretty in there. So I'm going to put this in there and I can glue it down. Okay. Now my paper is kind of a laminate on it. I'm sorry, I had to sneeze. My folder has a little bit of a laminate on it, so I can't use like regular glue. I have to use Fabri-Tac on it. This is the Fabri-Tac. So that's what I'm going to put on it. Now, if you like to sew, now's your time to sew. Okay? And only sew around the edges. You can sew around the edges anything you want. You can sew lace. You can sew ribbons. You can sew whatever you want. But you can't sew within your spine. Okay? Don't sew in your spine. There we go. There. I want it just like that. Now, that'll reinforce my spine a little bit and keep it from being wiggly. Just like that. Now, I'm going to put this. Let's see, I don't want that black line, so I think I'm going to take it off. And I'm just going to use my scissors. So, we're going to see how well I do with my scissors. Because I don't do very well with scissors all the time. I usually end up going crooked. But, you know what? That's what junk journals are all about. That's why I like them. There are no rules. Okay, right there is where that's going to go. Right there. Okay, so that's going to go on the outside. And it's okay that that part at the bottom is part of the folded area. That's okay because it's going to be glued down, so it's not going to be able to fold up or do anything. And I'm not going to decorate my front until the very end. But you feel free to decorate your front at any time in this beginning process. You can decorate it any time you choose. Okay. There we go. Now this first video, I'm going to just try to keep to 30 minutes. And then we're going to have part 2. I'll upload part 2 with it also. And hopefully that'll keep my voice from going completely out. And part 2 will be adding our signatures in. And I will show you how to do that. This is just the beginning, so it'll give you an opportunity to get your cover done. And then part 2 will be added. And you can work on your signatures. Okay. There you go. There's our cover so far. Now remember, be safe. If you're going to use a knife, be safe. Always be cautious. Oh, I did it backwards, didn't I? This is my front. Now my little boopa-doops are at the bottom. Well, see, that'll tell me the top and the bottom. My little boopa-doops are at the bottom. So, we'll put our signatures in the next video that I have. I'm going to let my voice rest for today. And you guys have a super day. And I will see you in the next one. Adios, girls.